Longwood Reimagined is finally completed. Obviously, we're going to be checking out the West Conservatory, but you have the Bonsai Courtyard, a new library, new studio space. The Cascade Gardens are back. There is so much to see. But before we start our adventure, my name is John. I cover everything travel related. If you enjoy our content, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for future adventures. Now let's go explore the new space at Longwood Gardens. Longwood Reimagined is a new expansion of 17 acres in Longwood Gardens. And besides the buildings, they've added new experiences and new gardens. And of course, the centerpiece is the West Conservatory, which we're about to head into. The West Conservatory is obviously the main focal point of the expansion. It is 32,000 square feet and it's Mediterranean-inspired garden. What is one of the coolest features is that how they use water with the garden. It reflects off the glass and it gives you a tranquil and peaceful environment. The West Conservatory is state-of-the-art, no expense spared on it. It has temperature control environment, over 1,900 glass panels, and to control the airflow, they have underground ducts that maintain all the air and make sure it's optimized for all the plants. What I found really interesting is the glass panels have little dots to let migrating birds know that they're glass panels and hopefully don't fly into them. What we just witnessed, which is really cool, is they can open and shut the glass window panes in this 3,200 square foot space, which is awesome and just adds to the experience. One of the main differences that you notice from the main conservatory to the West Conservatory is just how young everything looks. Even though these plants have been cultivated for years, you can just imagine that in the next couple of years, especially the vines, that it's going to be full of color, full of life. The vines are going to be bursting at the seams, and it's just going to look like the main conservatory. We found some fancy fruit, or these are called fingered citrons, and just like the name implies, they look like fingers, which is kind of cool. If you didn't like the fingered citron, maybe the hybrid kumquat is more your style. In the West Conservatory, there are 3,500 permanent plants and 2,500 seasonal plants representing over 150 different species. I mean, that is quite an addition to Longwood. We could spend a lot of time in the West Conservatory, but there's still a lot more space to explore. So next stop, the Cascade Garden. The Waterlily Court is going through some rehab and reconstruction, but it's set to reopen in the spring of 2025. And of course, if you've watched some of our other videos like the Kenilworth Lily Pad Festival, that's a perfect time to see the lily pads in full bloom. What's even better is that there's a connection between the main conservatory to the West Conservatory, so very easy access. Longwood's most prized garden is the Cascade Garden, which has its new permanent home right next to the West Conservatory. It is 3,800 square feet, 16 water features, and over 1,500 permanent plants on display. Cascade Garden is one of a kind. It's the only one in North America intact that was designed by the famous landscape architect Roberto Burle Marx, and it was inspired by equatorial coastal rainforest, and you can clearly see that in the background. One of the most interesting features that we notice are the stones. They're not concrete carved out of stones, they're actually preserved stones that factor into the environment and make it look natural. Right next to the Cascade Garden is the Bonsai Studio. Formerly used to be the Orchid Potting House, but we're going to go explore and see what it takes to maintain and grow a bonsai tree. When you come into the bonsai studio, it's really cool to see all the tools and instruments that they use. And what's even more amazing is they have over 500 pots, and some of them are on display, all different shapes, sizes, and colors. It can be really overwhelming. As we leave the workshop and head into the Bonsai Courtyard, Longwood is nationally recognized for their bonsai collection. They have nearly 200 bonsai trees and many different bonsai-related items. Their display has about 60 bonsai trees, which they rotate, has many different species, size, and shapes. But this is the largest privately owned collection outside of Asia, so we're really excited to see it. This collection is amazing, and as a history buff, I can really appreciate how old some of these bonsai trees are. The one behind me, the limber pine, 800 years old, and they also have one that's 500 years old as well. Just spectacular. The Grove, in addition to being an administrative building, is also home to their studio for photography, landscaping, architecture, and of course gardening. And what's really cool is you can get your landscape architecture certificate there as well. Their library and research center is amazing. It's 1,500 square feet, over 20,000 books, 6,000 are in their rare collection. If you're a member, you can schedule a reservation and come in and use some of the resources. Longwood's oldest book that they have was published in 1635, Architectura Universalis. Obviously, it's not in their normal collection, but their collection covers topics for botany, nature, fireworks, fountains, anything that DuPont had a huge interest in. So if you remember here, there's a lot of different topics that the library covers. We're at the edge of the West Conservatory and the Western Outlook, which you can see the rolling hills of the Brandywine Valley. The Idea Garden has 5 gardens, and it showcases experimental techniques and new landscaping ideas. And it's located west of the main fountains and in between the Chimes Tower and the conservatory. So let's go check it out. If the mums and pumpkins don't give it away, this is Longwood's seasonal garden, and for every aspiring landscape architect, it can give you some ideas to decorate your garden and landscape. Right next to the seasonal garden is the kitchen garden. Obviously during autumn time, it's a little bit bare. When we came here in the springtime off camera, it was thriving and very vibrant. And now that Longwood Reimagined has been completed. We plan on coming back in the springtime to do a full tour, but for the moment, we're going to enjoy a nice sunny autumn day. The fountain room is 5,600 square feet, can hold 250 people. If you're not sure where it is, find the 1906 restaurant. It's right across the lobby from that. The fountain room is their new private event area. During Christmas time, they have a buffet, which we believe is sold out, but check the website for details. But we're really excited what they do outside of Christmas time, as they have stunning views of their main fountain area. The 1906 restaurant has been expanded. Originally, it was at the Beer Garden Cafe, but it's below the conservatory overlook, right across from the main fountains. And it has 6,100 square feet, holds 242 people. You need to make a reservation in advance, but we definitely recommend doing that or trying to walk in or go to the bar. We were feeling a little parched and hungry, so we stopped by a 1906 restaurant. You can just walk up to the bar and we got our beverages and drinks, so cheers. The food and drinks live up to the hype at 1906. Now, we do have a reservation for the Christmas season, so we'll give you a full review on that. But you definitely want to make reservations in advance. You can walk up to the bar. It may take 20 to 30 minutes to wait for some seats to open up, but it's well worth it. When you come to the west side of the West Conservatory, obviously there's great views of the Brandywine Valley, but also great sunset views. That wraps up our whole tour. I think everything was really amazing. The new space is phenomenal. The West Conservatory, just breathtaking. I can't even describe it. Cascade Gardens was my personal favorite. I think the biggest tip of all, get here early, and especially if you want to eat at the 1906 restaurant, make reservations in advance. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but until next time, keep on exploring.